How have you been able to build systems at Glow and build a great team around you, whether that's finding great people or just having great systems and being able to bring them into that business and ultimately be able to scale Glow up to where it is today?
For sure. So first, to speak on, one is, I mean, as I know just from talking to you off camera and everything else, super well read. And I think with the Robert Greene analogy or really story in that book, which I've read as well, is my big thing. And if you go on my Instagram, one of the first thing I have pinned is my 7 keys to success, and one of them is no ego, and another one is to delegate. That's 2 of the 7, and no ego is huge. So at some point in business, obviously, I had an ego. I loved the attention and being the man, and people knowing that I'm the owner and all that stuff. I would probably say that it's probably been 8 years, 8 years now, or maybe closer to 6, but 6 to 8 years that I literally have, like, I do not care. I don't want anybody to know I'm the owner. If I go into the stores, my staff know, hey, do never point out that I'm the owner. I walk in always dressed extremely down, you know, $6 Eddie Bauer T-shirt from Sam's Club, and probably some sweatpants and some Gucci slides or something, dirty Gucci slides. Like, that's my uniform, right? So it's like, I don't want anybody knowing I'm the owner. I walk in, I'm no better than anybody else that's there. And even for my team, my corporate team that I work with on a daily basis, because I really don't go to the stores, much at all. They know, like, I don't think that I know anything. So I don't think I'm smarter than anyone. I just kind of, I'm able to, I really truly believe in trusting the experts. So when I bring somebody in, it's like, okay, we brought you in to be an expert at X. I need you to be an expert at X. And if you can't get to where you are better than me at the bare minimum, and I don't think I'm that great at a lot of things, then you got to go. Because that's why we brought you in. We brought you in to make my job easier. We're not. I call them coworkers because I don't call the people that work for me, my staff or anything else like that. And I hate when they say, "Oh, our owner." I'm not a slave master, right? So my coworkers, they know it's like, your job is to make my job easier, and the only way you can make my job easier is if you are proficient and almost excellent at whatever that one singular task is that you are there to do. When you get to where you have a bigger business, and obviously we're getting into for us, we're getting close to, like, being a 10-figure business. When you get to that level, I want for every single person to have a singular task. I don't want for one person to carry 5 hats, because when you have one person carrying 5 hats, if you lose that one person, then you're for all intent and purposes, you're fucked, right? So it's like, if every single person has one task that they are supposed to do, and if I don't have somebody that I can give, like, I can't afford. So yesterday we hired a photographer and a graphic designer full time, on staff. But prior to having a graphic designer and photographer full time on staff, we just delegated that out to a company. So we had a company that we hire, and they handle all of our graphic design, and we have a photographer that we hire that handles all our photography, right? So anything that I can't do that with, where I can hire somebody full time for a singular task, then I will hire a company, because it's not my responsibility to figure out how to get that done. If the company loses their photographer, it's their responsibility to go get a photographer that's equal in skill, compared to me having to figure out, oh, well, I have a photographer, a graphic designer, a social media, content creator, our AdWords person, and our Facebook and social media ad spend person is all one person. Now, which that's not the case for us. We have 4 different people for everything for those 5 different things that I named. But if they were one person, that person was to either quit, or, God forbid, got into a car accident, or something happened to where they can no longer function in the position that they're in, now you're screwed. Now you have to figure out all those different things. So to me, it's like, I focus on giving people a singular task, and I want you to be great at that one thing that you do. One of you guys does the filming, one of you guys does the interview questions, one of you guys does the editing. If one person did all three of those things, right, and that person decides, you know what, I don't like you guys anymore, channel's gone, right? So you have to be able to delegate. You have to be able to delegate and make sure that you have people that are focused on single individual tasks that you need for them. And if you can't afford to have people who are focused on single individual tasks, then you hire out like an agency or something like that that can handle those things, so that if the person who's handling your account leaves, it's their responsibility to find somebody else. There's no interruption in your business from doing that.
So you talk about delegating, bringing the right people in, and when you were first kind of starting Glow, you mentioned someone, Tyler, was like one of your original business partners. But you're all the time. In order, you can create a 6-figure business by yourself, but really to get to that 7, let alone 8-figure mark, right? To create $1 million business, and let alone a multi-million dollar business.
You can't create a 6-figure business by yourself. That's not a business. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier, right? You're a sole proprietor that makes 6 figures, right? You're a carpenter that does cabinets, and you made $100,000 or $400,000 making cabinets. Is that a business? Can they sell that business? Without you making the cabinets, what is the business to sell? Are you selling me your leftover wood? Right? Yeah. That's not a business, right? So a business is if you're not, in my opinion, if you're not a sole proprietor is not really a business. But if somebody who has a team, who doesn't have a team, is not a business, because there's nothing to sell, right? If you can't sell your business, then you don't have a business.